Good afternoon, everybody. Uneducated economist here. So, I bring a lot of topics to the table. I bring a lot of topics to this channel for us to discuss. And, every once in a while, I hit on a subject that is sensitive. And it seems to be that student loans, the topic of student loans in college and all that, is a very sensitive subject. And the last video that I put out, Student Loans Are a Scam, I got a few emails from it. And not just one. I mean, I got I think three emails on that subject. And one of them basically said that I was playing with a loaded gun, saying that, putting out these videos discouraging people from going off to college is like playing with a loaded gun. And I tried to explain to that gentleman in that email, that particular one, that I'm not trying to discourage anybody from going to school, right? In fact, I'm all about learning. I'm all about trying to learn every day as much as you can. My problem with student loans is that I feel it's a scam because I don't think that it's very wise to put yourself in a position in which that paying back is so burdensome that the benefit that you tried to get from it is now the burden within itself. I don't know if I explained that right. Meaning that, if you do something to try and better yourself, you're going to go into an investment, but that investment itself is now creating a burden for you that you can't get out of. That's a problem, okay? And I don't believe that should exist. All the knowledge in the world is available to you for free. If you got access to the internet, you got access to information. You can learn as much as you want on just about any subject you want. Believe me. So when it comes to going to school to get a degree, to get a higher paying job, that's a very tricky situation because the expense of getting that degree can be so burdensome upon you that the career is just not worth it. Now, I found an article the other day and I just couldn't let it go. I posted it over in the Telegram channel and it's gotten quite a few views. Now, this particular article, when I saw it, I was thinking, man, that is an interesting one. I never would have expected to see this. And I kind of let it go, but I keep getting drawn back to it. And I think that we should talk about it. Because this article says this. The title of it is this. The majority of American teenagers believe a high school diploma is enough to succeed. A high school diploma is enough to succeed. And I thought about that for a minute, and I'm thinking, you know what? I have a high school diploma. The day I got it, I showed it to people. I stuck it in a drawer, and I'm the only one who's ever seen it since. Every job application I've ever filled out has asked me if I've graduated high school. Nobody has ever asked me to prove it. Ever. So my question to you guys is this. Is a high school diploma worth anything? Now, I do give it that if you can graduate high school and get a diploma, that is really telling an employer that you are at least, skilled enough to show up every day and to graduate high school. But you don't have to prove it. You don't have to say, here's my proof that I graduated high school. Nobody's ever asked me for it. My wife, she never went on to college. She has a high school diploma. Nobody's ever asked her. I've asked my buddies who have high school diplomas. Nobody's ever asked them for them. I asked my boss. I said, have you ever asked anybody for their high school diploma to look at it? And you know what he told me? He says, I can't ask anything that would give them reference to their age. So unless you are planning on going on to college, a high school diploma has no value to it either. It might tell an employer that you are qualified enough to at least make it through high school so you can show up on time for school and maybe, have a chance of showing up on time for work. It can tell an employer that, but you don't have to prove it. This article had a couple of other things that I thought were quite interesting to say. There's a quote in here from Carnival. Anyway, he's the director of Georgetown University Center on Education and the Workforce. And he had this to say: 8% of four-year college degrees do bring sufficient earnings to pay for the cost over a career. The truth is, it is very hard for colleges at a four-year level to build programs that aren't worth the loan. 8% of four-year college degrees do bring sufficient earnings to pay for the cost over the career. I don't know what you guys heard, but I heard 92% don't. They might match it. It might be worth it to say, hey, like, yeah, I took out the loan, I'm able to pay it back, but, as far as being above, only 8%. 73, here's another, this is part of the article, it's not quoted from anybody, except for the author who, I don't know, let me see if I got the author's name here. It was by the Associated Press. I don't think it has the author's name here. But anyway, it came out from the Associated Press, who originally did this article. I got it out of Market Watch. I'll leave links down in the description for it. But this is the other thing it said. And more than any type of degree, 73% of young Americans said that they think job experience is a good preparation for success. When you're flooded in a sea of other degrees, everybody around you has a degree, but only a handful of you have any experience, who's going to stand out? 73% of young Americans think that job experience is a good preparation for success. And that's more than any type of degree. That's what they said. And more than any type of degree, 73% think that. This is incredible. This is very, I think about when I was in high school, I had a part-time job. And with that part-time job, I was able to get a car, have insurance. My girlfriend at the time, who I ended up marrying, she had a job. We were able to rent an apartment before we graduated high school. The day I graduated, we moved in together in our own apartment. And I think about today and like a teenager, like a senior graduating high school, trying to do that. I can't see it. I don't see a graduating couple from high school being able to rent and live on their own in this economy right now. Things have changed that much. But 73% think that work experience is better preparation for success than a degree. That's the question I'm going to ask you guys. What is a high school diploma really worth? Uneducated economist? You guys let me know.